Hi friends, welcome to this class. So we're going to paint a robin bird. Basically, we're going to layer it wet on wet. We're going to wet the inside of the bird plus a little bit of the background. But let me explain to you a little better. Before we do anything, I want you to grab masking fluid. This is my Schminke masking fluid. And I'm going to use my like brush I don't care about. This is a regular brush. I'm going to grab that masking and I'm flattening it so just so it feels flat and thin in a way, so I can create like thin lines. That's for the hair detail over the feathers. So I'm just quickly going to apply some more. Now this is a little thick, so I just use the neck of the bottle to flatten my brush even more. And it's basically whatever I see like the lightest colors in those feathers, like highlighted hair, even like around the eye. There's a little highlight in the eye. You know what? We are using masking, might as well just add a little, maybe like a line inside, just a little bit. Now I also, before I start applying or grabbing the masking, what I also like to do is dip it in water and then slightly wipe it on a towel. So it's kind of like I'm diluting the masking in a way, just so it's not so thick. So this side of the bird is more like highlighted, so I am going to add some more hair detail over there. Same thing over the belly. Not everywhere, just a little bit. It's always nice to have like smaller areas or the feathers that are more highlighted. And then let's see, maybe a little bit. I actually already added it there. Tiny bit here. When you feel like you're finally getting these like very thin lines, might as well add it like in other spots, like, and for example here, like a little bit above the nostril, and I feel like I could easily just add a little bit, tiny bit of masking there too. So now let's talk about how we're gonna layer it. So my idea is to wet the entire bird and then find the areas where I want the colors from the bird to bleed toward the background to create soft feathers. For example, this is a great area right here. So I would wet the inside of the bird plus the background here. So colors from the bird bleed toward the background, but I can also add some colors toward the background if I make it on time. If not, I'll just re-wet this section and add background later. Here, all this, we can also wet all this and then just add some of those plants right away, wet on wet. We can later add second layer, or we can stay away from it and paint it separately. Here I'm going to stay on the inside of the bird only because it's kind of like a hard edge. It'd be nice to have a hard edge, and over here too, right here. So I'm not gonna wet the background here, but later I can add the background. And let's see, this should be all soft as well, all this. So the best way to explain is basically by demonstrating. One thing, just please make sure your color palette is ready to go. So I have the greens for the background ready as well. So this is what my palette looks like right now. This is Van Dyke Brown, Burnt Sienna, Isa Yellow, Imidazzlon Yellow, Quinacridone Red, Hooker's Green, Sap Green, Phthalo Blue, Indigo, and then Cobalt Blue. And this is my flat brush, 24 Songbird. And just make sure that the masking has dried when you start wetting. So for now, just to make it simple and easy, I am just going to wet the inside of the bird. This is a cold pressed 300 pounds watercolor paper. It's in my journal actually. I used to make these. My long quill size 4 brush. So my long quill size 4. I'm gonna start with yellows. So first I want milk, like water milk like ratio, something that feels like water milk. And where do I see this bright yellow? It's actually right here. I don't need to add it everywhere. Just like a paler wash. For now, it looks like paler wash overall, but the yellow is bright. You can use other shades of yellow too, just FYI, like you don't have to go with the same colors. Some of the other ones, like the cadmiums, are really bright, for example. And what are the areas that seem like it actually more like this iso yellow? It's like here, maybe, mostly here. I want to add the blue shade, the shadows, over the white feathers. So a little more water. I also want this to be more like water to milk like ratio, and then tiny bit of quin red. So this is cobalt blue plus quinacridone red, and I'm gonna place it right here. These are like white feathers-ish, white feathers. And I grabbed a little more of the cobalt blue. But this is the area basically where I see these blue feathers, and I keep grabbing like a chunk of paint, but there you go. So blue feathers. Another thing is you have to kind of travel around the bird. You don't want that some areas to dry too fast, because then you just won't make it, right? So let's say we're only focusing on the yellow feathers. Well, that means the head is going to be too dry by the time I get there. So I have to go quickly here right away, add some paint, and then I can go back to my yellow spots. Now more of that purple-ish, so that means I need more of the quinacridone red. Grab even some of the yellow with those colors. So it's like a neutral gray, just so it's not this dark. It will still be pale-ish, but I want it to be a little lighter. And then more of that blue, red, and actually it's not a bad idea to keep grabbing that yellow, blue, gray. I'm sorry, yellow, blue, red will give you a shade of gray. So I quickly have to come back here. So the yellows, both the yellows, and then my red. You can see that the paint is like not spreading as much anymore. Of course, I also don't have like a brush full of water. Everything is more under control, but also like the paper is drying super fast. I really don't have that much time to apply these colors. So very gently with this other long cool 2 or 4, I'm sorry, I'm just going to quickly apply the shade of this yellow plus the yellows and then red. That's what it is. So now switching to my blues. This is plus the yellow. So cobalt blue, quin red, right? And then some of the yellow as well. Something like this, but I want more of the yellow. If that shade of gray that you just created feels too like muddy, becomes muddy, you have to clean your brush and start over basically with a blend of colors on your brush. Now with the tip of my brush, this is the yellow, blue, red. I also have a little bit of Van Dyke brown. This should be like just make it like a damp brush. So wipe your brush a little on a towel, and it should be like a half and half like ratio, although it feels like my paint is a little more diluted with water. And then quickly add it toward the top, whatever you see like the darkest part. Now we have another nice area right here, more of that right in here. Now this became a little too brownish from the Van Dyke brown, but I'm quickly grabbing other colors. So blue plus some of the red and yellow, the primary colors. You have to visualize the process, like you have to see it before you start painting. It doesn't work for me. Like if I don't see it, I cannot paint. I have to see like how I'm going to layer something. Otherwise, I know I'm going to make a mess. Like it's not going to look good. So I'm wiping my brush on a towel. This still has some of this Van Dyke brown, but I also have some of the blue. And these are like the shadows, so we have to add shadows. Quickly, with the tip of your brush, grab this heavy cream-like ratio of some of this burnt sienna, yeah, and then how about Van Dyke brown? And this is because we have like some extra feathers there in the background, or in the background. It is in the background actually. So grab the Van Dyke brown, some of the burnt sienna, and even like some blue, which is in my case, I grabbed cobalt blue. And just add it toward the darkest areas. Now, this is another darker area, but this is actually where we have the plant, right? But I do want to show shadows. I'm going to grab quickly some of this Van Dyke brown, and I have phthalo blue, or cobalt blue, I'm sorry. I am in a hurry because things are drying, and the most important to me right now is to add the darks for the contrast. Cream top, this is cream top of this cobalt blue, and just for the shadows. So I actually should be thinking about lifting. Do I have time to lift? It's a tough one. I do, but not in all of these areas. I missed out on the timing for sure. So let's see where I can still lift. I want some shadow here. This is a damp brush, and it's like cream top like ratio. So I'm cleaning this brush. And now here's the thing. This is the yellow, right? With the red, but I want way more of that red right in here. This is a damp brush with creamy paint, just because I want a little more color here, ideally over here too. Now you have to be very careful if you still add color, because the paper is pretty damp here, and this should be lifted. It should be lighter overall right here. I don't want to create a bloom, although I wouldn't mind, I guess, to have a bloom. It's just, it should be a little lighter right here. So I am going to add a little more color here. Now, because there's time in my case, I want to add some greens for these plants here. So what I'm going to do is grab this heavy cream of the, this is actually Fundic brand, I'm sorry, this is indigo. So indigo, some of the hooker's green and sap green, that's what it is, and phthalo blue. And then I'm just gonna go for these flowers just to add, but you know what, it doesn't seem like the same shade. I need way more blue for this. And I'm just gonna add them like in some of these areas. Some of are a little more bluish, but it's okay. I just want color overall. It should be more like a indigo. So the indigo shade, I can see that a lot in this painting. That's it for this class. This is a finished painting because when I came back to it, I felt like I don't want more background. I like what I see. I like the looser green background, the foliage that I already added. I do like these flowers here. Maybe you want to add more to this side, but I would always think about the balance. So the background is not too busy. It's very easy to overdo it with that background, and then things just get too busy. In my head, like I will always leave one area that just has to be lighter, whatever type of a background I'm painting. But in this case, this is in my journal and I kind of like the way it is now. So thank you so much for your time, and please let me know if you have any questions.